Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video we will be learning about proportions. So if you want to learn more about proportions and how to set up tables for proportions and everything like that, continue watching. So this lesson is going to consist mostly of word problems. But without further ado, let's just get on into it. So what is a proportion? So a proportion is something like this. Something over something is equal to a variable over another thing. Now this really comes in useful when you're trying to figure out percentages, like how many it makes more sense in the problems, but it can really help you with trying to figure out percentages. Now you can do this in multiple ways. You can either do cross multiplication, which I showed before, or you can find what number multiplies to get the number next to it and do that for the top one. If that doesn't make sense, stick to cross multiplication, as that is the most basic way and that is the way most people use to solve these. So let's say we have Mike has 20 socks. 10% are green. How many socks aren't green? So let's set up a table for this. Tables really help. So we have 4 rows, one for just the title of the row, and then 3 with actual information. So we have in real life, and then we have the actual percentage. So we have the green socks, one row's for green socks, the other row's for the not green socks, and the other one's for the total. Now this will really help us when we're doing our proportion. So we know that there's a total of 20 socks, and the total percentage is always 100. And if we're given one percentage, we can know the other by basically subtracting. And then we can set up this proportion. You cannot have more than 2 variables in a proportion, so you will easily know which 2 rows you need to use, and you can set up a proportion and cross multiply just like this. Now this comes in really handy, as you saw, that I used this just to figure out how many socks aren't green, because we know the percent, but we don't know how many aren't green. And you can also do the way that I said, by finding which number and dividing and everything like that. That's only if you want to do it quickly, but to go the safe way, it's best to just go ahead and do cross multiplication. So we know 18 socks are not green, and that is our answer. Now let's head on onto a second problem. Let's say Mary has 400 candies. 70% are individually wrapped, and what I mean like this is like something that's individual. The others come in packets like Skittles or something like that have multiple in it. And how many candies are in packs? So we're going to set up a table similar to how we set up one before. And we use the same kind of table. We just alter the information and what goes in each row. But the bottom one is always for the total. So we have one row for the individually wrapped, we have one for the packs, and we have one for the total. Now one of them is in real life and the other one is percent. So we know there's a total of 400 candies and the total percent is always 100. We know there are 70% individual wraps and 100 minus 70 is 30. Therefore, the packs must be 30%. And we know that we have to use the bottom, that proportion, because you cannot have 2 variables in a proportion. And the other, if we tried another proportion, it would have 2 variables. Anyways, so we have x over 400 is equal to 30 over 100. Now if we cross multiply, just like so, we get 12,000 is equal to 100x, and if we divide by 100 on both sides to get x alone, we get 120 is equal to x. And you can also kind of use logic to see if this makes sense, and in this case, using logic, this does make sense. Now you all are going to do a problem all by yourselves. Bob has 40 marbles. 65% are red. The rest are yellow. How many marbles are red? How many of his marbles that he has are red? You have 2 minutes to solve this problem. Did you do it? Let's check if you got the right answer. We will be using a table for this one, so like any other ones. So if we set up our table just like how we would all the other ones, we have one row for the title and then 3 other rows. So we have in real life and then we have the percent. So we know the total is 40 marbles, and the total for percent is always 100. And we know 65% are red. And one of the rows represents red, the other represents yellow. And 100 minus 65 is 35. So we know the other percentage, which is the percentage of yellow. And we want to know how many are red. So that means we'll cross out the yellow line. And we'll set up our proportion this way. X over 40 is equal to 65 over 100. We get 65 times 40. I'm just doing this on the side because it is a bigger calculation. And here we will get 2,600 and equal to 100x because that's cross multiplication. You set it equal to the other 2 numbers multiplied. So we'll get 26 is equal to x, and 26 red marbles is the answer. Congrats, you made it to the end of this video. Whether it's you needed help with this concept, you wanted some extra practice, or you just wanted to review, I hope you learned something or got some extra practice in. It would mean the world to me if you subscribed and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I post a brand new video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. It just tells me if I need to change anything. Now, if you have any suggestions for any of my videos, don't feel afraid to email me or contact me in any way. My email's in the description, or go ahead and comment on my discussion page. Bye!